What's up guys, Retired Sergeant First Class Bites here. In this video, we will discuss the best ways to prepare for infantry school. I use several words and or terms in this video that I want to make sure you understand before we move forward. Initial Active Duty Training, or IADT. Initial Active Duty Training simply means the first time being on active duty in your military career. For most soldiers, basic combat training and advanced individual training, or one station unit training, is your initial active duty training. So when I say initial active duty training in this video, this is what I mean. One station unit training, or OSUT. One station unit training is used by the Army to refer to a training program in which recruits remain with the same unit for both basic combat training, BCT, and advanced individual training, AIT. Most non-combat MOSs will conduct basic combat training at one base and then leave that training site to relocate to a new base to complete advanced individual training. Soldiers attending OSUT will not relocate. Again, they will complete both basic training and advanced training in one location. Basic Combat Training, or BCT. This is a 10-week course where you learn the basic fundamentals of being a soldier. All soldiers attend basic training regardless of their MOS. In combat MOSs, this is the first portion of your OSUT training. Advanced Individual Training, or AIT. This is where you learn the specific skills needed to operate in your military occupational specialty. AIT can be as little as 4 weeks or as long as 52 weeks. It depends solely upon your MOS and the skills needed to perform your duties. In combat MOSs, this is the second portion of your OSUT training. When I went to infantry school, we didn't have a basic training graduation. So true story, one day during first formation at infantry school, I asked my drill sergeant when the AIT portion of OSUT would start, and his response was, "It started last week." It caught me off guard because I assumed there would be a graduation or some type of distinction letting us know that we had completed the basic training portion of OSUT training. However, my drill sergeants looked at it like OSUT was one course, not two. Nowadays, I believe you have a graduation between BCT and AIT at infantry school, especially if you are a split option coming from high school. Alright, let's jump into this. There are two ways to prepare for 11 Bravo Infantry OSUT training: physical preparation and mental preparation. What you do to prepare both physically and mentally can certainly set you up for success at infantry school and in your military career in general. I have said this in many videos, but setting yourself apart from your peers is extremely important if you want to excel in your career. Imagine starting off your career graduating infantry school in the top 10% of your class, or having the highest Army Combat Fitness Test score, earning the title of Iron Soldier, or even receiving an Army Achievement Medal for distinguishing yourself by meritorious service. This type of accomplishment will be highly looked upon by your leadership at your future duty station. Here's an example. Let us say that you are one of my new soldiers arriving to the unit, and I am informed that you received the Iron Soldier Physical Fitness Award at OSUT training. I am immediately going to have a good impression of you because I know there are hundreds of soldiers at infantry school. They don't give out many awards, but out of everybody, you excelled above your peers and were recognized. I say all that to say, preparation is the key to success at initial active duty training. It's highly unlikely that you will excel above your peers if you did not prep for training. How do we mentally prepare for infantry school? Well, congratulations to you because you are already on the right track by watching this video. Researching what lies ahead is what you should be doing right now. I believe the very best way to prepare for infantry school on a mental level is by understanding the obstacles that you will be facing, accepting those obstacles, and mentally noting how you will tactfully attack those obstacles when faced. I spent many years preparing soldiers for basic training, and one of the first things I would go over with them was, what obstacles will we face at basic training? Now, some of this might sound like common sense, but take a moment to think about each situation. Drill sergeants are going to yell at you a lot every day. Drill sergeants will never thank you and rarely give you praise. The first week or two at infantry school is going to be rough getting adjusted to. You're coming straight from civilian life, fort living room, so it's going to be a shock to your system, but it will get better. Your ability to adapt and overcome will reach new heights. It's going to feel like you are getting no appreciation for anything you do. That's just how it is. Accept it. Occasionally, it will feel like half of the things you are doing don't even make sense, but everything in basic training has a purpose. Sometimes sometimes it's just hard to see the bigger picture. You're going to miss your family, you're gonna miss your friends, your dog, your goldfish, McDonald's, going to the club, the beach, and everything else. Remember that training is only temporary and you are making an investment in your future. The return on this investment will be worth it. No news is good news. If something serious has happened back home, the Red Cross will contact Big Army will contact your leadership, who will then make contact with you and advise you of the situation. So again, no news is good news. The mornings are going to come early and the nights are going to end late. You are going to get deprived of sleep, especially the first couple weeks of training. Everything is going to be hurry up and wait. You'll rush through chow just to stand in formation immediately after and not do anything for an hour. Expect to get a little banged up, bruises and blisters suck, but they are normal. I could go on and on about different obstacles you will face, but accepting these challenging times now will make them a lot easier to handle when the time comes because you knew they were coming. On a daily basis leading up to training, think about these different things and mentally accept them. Remember, what may come easy to you may be difficult for your battle buddy. Therefore, work as a team with your comrades and lean on each other. One of the main goals drill instructors are trying to accomplish in training is to get your unit to operate as one. One team, one fight. If you were going through infantry school alone, the chances of you passing would decrease tremendously, so I cannot emphasize enough how important being a team player is. Knowledge is power, so the more you know now, the better you will do when it's time to handle business. You know your strengths and weaknesses, so in your research and preparation for infantry school, seek out those areas that you know you struggle in and work on them, whether that be ruck marches, shooting weapons, physical fitness, self-discipline, etc. Moving on, how do we physically prepare for infantry school? The good news is there are many ways to successfully physically prepare for infantry school. The other good news is you don't need a gym to prepare physically. There is no excuse to go into infantry school out of shape. Since you have access to this video, you also have access to an endless catalog of other videos on YouTube that can help you get in shape. Sergeant First Class Bites, how can I get in shape without a gym? I'm glad you asked. Push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, and squats. If you take the time to master these 4 exercises, your life in infantry school will be much easier. Matter of fact, if you spend about 30 minutes each day doing a round robin of these exercises, it'll be a game changer for you. I could give you numerous different workout routines to do these exercises, but the most important part of exercising in general is to not cheat yourself. What that means is give your best effort, don't stop early, push out that extra repetition, and have good form. Here is one way that you could use these exercises and conduct a workout. Alright, with this workout, I would set your alarm for 30 minutes and then switch to your timer. Go ahead and start your alarm and timer and use about 5 minutes to stretch your chest, triceps, abs, and legs. Stretching is important, so do not skip this step. You will never skip stretching and or warming up prior to physical training in the Army. Alright, you've completed your 5 minutes of stretching and warming up. Now begin your workout. You will start off by doing 1 minute of push-ups. Although pushing out as many reps as possible is important, your form is more important. It would be better to do fewer push-ups with good form than more push-ups with poor form. Begin the push-up by bending your elbows and lowering your entire body simultaneously until your upper arms are parallel to the ground. Then return to the starting position by raising your entire body until your arms are fully extended. Your body must remain in a generally straight line and move as a unit for the entire repetition. If you are unable to complete 1 minute of proper push-ups, go to your knees and do them for the remainder of the minute. If you are unable to continue doing push-ups while on your knees, remain in the push-up position on your knees without doing reps, but holding your chest off the ground with your arms fully extended. This still works your chest and arms. Stopping before the minute mark and not giving your best effort is only cheating yourself, and your results will be limited. Take a 60-second break after doing push-ups. Now you will move on to 1 minute of sit-ups. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle and feet about 12 inches apart. Interlock your fingers behind your head, and it's best if either someone can hold your feet or you can lodge your feet under something to keep them held down while doing this exercise. When you begin, raise your upper body to or beyond the vertical position, so bring the base of your neck above the base of your spine, then lower until at least your shoulder blades touch the ground. That is 1 proper repetition. Repeat these sit-up repetitions for 1 minute. If you are unable to do 1 minute of proper sit-ups, finish the minute by doing crunches. Again, do not cheat yourself, give your best attempts. After completing 1 minute of sit-ups, take a 1 minute break. Next, you will move on to 1 minute of jumping jacks. Start with feet together and arms at your side. When you begin, you will hop your feet outside of hip width while simultaneously bringing your hands over your head, sometimes in a clap, and then returning with your feet together and arms at your side. If you are unable to complete 1 minute of proper jumping jacks, finish the minute by doing overhead arm claps. With this, you will stop the jumping motion, keep your feet together, and bring your hands over your head, sometimes in a clap, and then bring them back to your side. Upon completion of this exercise, take a 1 minute break. Next, you will move on to 1 minute of squats. To begin, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly out, core braced, and chest up. Initiate a basic squat movement, hips back, knees bent, ensuring they fall out, not in. Pause when your thighs are about parallel to the ground. Push through your entire foot to return to the starting position. If you are unable to complete 1 minute of proper squats, continue them in the proper form, but minimize the distance in which you squat. Do this rotation of exercises 4 times. That means you should have done each exercise 4 times, 1 minute each set, 1 minute break between each exercise. This workout should take around 30 minutes to complete. There's 24 hours in a day. No matter what you have going on, you can find 30 minutes to work out each day. In your mind, it should be no different than sleeping or eating. You cannot go without it each day. Although rest is important and good for the body, we are only talking about a 30-minute workout each day. So I would suggest only taking off exercising 1 day a week. Sunday would be the optimal day to take off because typically you will not do physical fitness on Sundays at Infantry School. If you are sore the first week or two and require additional rest, you can take 2 days off. However, do not rest for 2 days back to back. I would suggest taking Wednesday and Sunday off. Now, if you are a regular gym goer, I'm not going to spoon feed you with a workout routine. What I will say though is lower the weight and up your repetitions. Being able to lift 300 pounds isn't going to be very valuable at OSUT, especially if that takes away from your endurance or ability to run. Something that I have seen all of my life, especially with people who start working out for the first time, is they do not see or feel results immediately, so they get discouraged and quit. Remember, getting in shape takes time and consistency. The Roman Empire wasn't built overnight. Another huge mistake I see people make all the time is having a poor diet. You are what you eat, literally. Fast food, for example, is typically high in sugar, salt, saturated fat, trans fat, processed ingredients, and calories. When we eat them, we leave less room in our diets for more nutritious foods. Additionally, the additives in these foods can be responsible for negative health effects such as increased stress levels, fatigue and decreased energy levels, difficulty sleeping, concentration struggles, feeling down, and many other negatives that really take away from the gains that we are trying to make by exercising. So for the maximum results in preparing physically for infantry school, you must exercise and maintain a healthy diet. A high percentage of troops who attend basic training lose weight and gain muscle because they are forced to be on a balanced diet, drink a lot of water, and burn calories all day through exercise and training. This is just further proof on why preparing as stated will lead to success. Last 2 notes on physically preparing for infantry school. 1. On top of everything I've already mentioned, I would suggest getting out and running 3 days a week. Nothing will prepare you for running better than running itself. Secondly, track your progress. Start a weekly tracker so you can track your activities and see your results on paper. It'll be rewarding as time progresses, and it's good to be able to see the work that you put in and your results over the weeks. Physical preparation for infantry school is probably the best mental preparation you can possibly do. Going into training knowing how much physical work you've done will give you confidence like nothing else. However, if you do not physically prepare for training, it'll do the opposite and take a toll on your confidence. The last thing that you want to do is arrive at Fort Benning wishing you had done more to prepare. Just know that everyone is nervous about leaving for infantry school. The closer it comes to your ship date, the more you are going to feel those nerves. That's okay, guys. That is normal. That is part of the process. The old saying of what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger is true. Every year, thousands and thousands of new recruits attend OSUT and pass. Infantry school is designed for you to pass as long as you don't quit. The drill sergeants are literally graded on your success rate. The more soldiers that pass, the better it looks on the instructors. Therefore, as long as you give your best effort and never quit, your leadership is going to do everything in their power to help you reach the finish line. Speaking of drill sergeants, do not take anything that they say personally. They are there in part to to break you down and then build you back up. Your best response to nearly everything a drill sergeant says is, "Roger, drill sergeant." Do not talk back to them. Don't roll your eyes. Don't give a "go F yourself" facial expression. Don't shrug your shoulders. Soldier up and continue the mission. There's always a bigger picture in the task you are given. You might be instructed to move rocks from point A to point B, and then 10 minutes later, move the rocks back from point B to point A. Just knock out the task and carry on. Personally, I didn't feel that nervous about shipping to infantry school. However, when we entered Fort Benning, my nerves began to increase. Those nerves didn't last long though, because you are slowly integrated in the Army system. You don't arrive at Fort Benning by jumping out of a plane and then getting bombarded by drill sergeants. You start your process at reception. During reception, you'll get a preview of basic training. You'll be introduced to Army values and the warrior ethos. You and your fellow recruits will begin exercises in teamwork, self-discipline, responsibility, leadership development, self-reliance, confidence, and things like that. The Army uses the crawl, walk, run method, so everything happens in stages. Rarely will you ever go from 0 to 100. Anyway, I hope this video was informative and you were able to take away a few things from it. Do me a solid and hit that like button, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are watching this video and have been to infantry school, share some other ways that these future infantry soldiers can prepare for OSUT. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. This is Sergeant First Class Bites. I'm out.